that the Leicestershire drama from 2 years ago here when they were bowled out for 61 and 66 was about to repeat itself. No Mohammed Abbas to blow Durham away this time. It's with Pakistan. He might be bowling shortly. We'll have to check how Abbasi's getting on. Ryan comes in and bowls, and Lees plays that down towards third man for 1. And a new one on me yesterday. It's the first time I've conducted a pre-match interview at Woolly Edge Services. So Durham move on to 8 here. So team set off yesterday morning and had a net here. I didn't set off till yesterday afternoon. So initially pulled into Morrison's at Borough Bridge to try and chat to Ned Eckersley, but they were still on their way from Grace Road back to the team edge and conducted a Zoom interview in the car park. Klein balls. That one's pushed towards point. Dot ball. Found a quiet corner of the car park next to the travel lodge. That's butterfly eye. I thought I was throw in for a moment. Be encouraging for Durham at the moment. Just there's not really too much there. The pitch looks pretty benign so far. No great bounce. Klein in again and bowls. Just played off towards mid-wicket, no run there. And that is the end of the over. So Durham have lost there heavily to Yorkshire and Lancashire. And a good win for Leicestershire first up against Lancashire at New Road in neutral Worcester. And then defeat last time out against leaders Derbyshire. Who would have thought would be saying that? Out-disciplined was what Paul Nixon said after that disappointing defeat from Leicestershire's point of view. Derbyshire, yeah, they had a much changed bowling attack, but they were just as effective. Hit their lines and lengths. Made Leicestershire make mistakes, and Leicestershire did make mistakes. Hassan Azad, opening the batting, was stumped from 15 yards. He was batting outside his crease, didn't bother stepping back in, and wicketkeeper Harvey Hussain just rolled the ball into the stumps from all the way back in his back at the end of his stance, basically. Change in bowling already, or is Gavin Griffiths just checking his running? He's just checking his running. I would have been surprised. Taylor's only bowled 3 overs, 1 maiden, none for 3. Players who just had a squirt on their fingers. It's a good habit, isn't it, to get into, and you've been doing it too, every 6th over. More or less, yes. Taylor, down the slope he comes, and bowls 2 Lees, just swings in a little bit, but started middle, swung towards leg, and up onto the top of the pad, maybe even thigh pad of Lees, as he looked to push it into the leg side, didn't get anything on it, bounced out into the leg side, just checks his guard with umpire Malander. Looks like he's batting more or less on middle. Bat raised now as Taylor in and bowls outside off stump, leans forward, plays it firmly out into the offside in front of point, but doesn't put his full weight at all into the shot, and Dearden can hop to his left, pick up as it bounces out towards him, and no run in. Umpire has found Sam into the talk. No, well, Sam, a very polite young man, will be responding. Just have to listen, Sam. Nick will do the talking. In goes Taylor and bowls, goes for the drive, and nice beautifully shot. Hit by Lees. Just waited for it. No great big step out, but just weight on the front foot, leant into it and punched it away nice and straight through the offside. And all Davies can do is turn and jog after the ball. As Martin said, lovely shot. And that will give Alex Lees a lot of confidence. He's on to 8 of 19 balls. Durham into double figures now, 12 for 1. For none, beg your pardon, not 1 yet. Positive start from the visitors. Lees looks at, just checks everything's in position, waits as Taylor comes in and cracks him away through the offside again, this time off the back foot. It was slightly short of a length outside off stump and punched away through extra cover. A long chase back for Dearden from cover, picks up around 10 yards inside the ropes at extra cover by that time. Alex Lees has completed a very comfortable 2 runs. Might just have picked up 3 there. It's a big old outfield, but it is reasonably quick as well. Lee's into double figures now, on to 10. Durham 14 without loss. Leicestershire slip standing very close together as Taylor goes in and bowls to him. Line and length delivery on off stump. Lees treats it with respect.
Better delivery, that one. It was the last one was a bit short and wide, wasn't it? But that was on the money.
Griffiths did plenty of warming up already at mid-on.
The leg swing, do you call that? Touching alternate feet.
Up go the knees.
Full workout.
Yes. In goes Taylor and bowls a short ball, a bouncer really, just outside off stump, and got in position to hook it away, Lees, and in the end decided a little bit too early in the innings to go for it. It was a bit high as well, probably, and so let it go through to Swindles. Well played over as far as Alex Lees is concerned. At the end of it, Durham 14 without loss. Lees has 10 off 22 balls. Dixon 4 off 20, 7 overs bowled, and an increasingly solid start by Durham.
Klein none for 5 from 3 overs. 1.7 an over he's going for at the moment. Dixon on strike, 3 slips in place. Left armour comes up to the stumps and bowls, and they're appealing for caught behind. Dixon's walking, kicks the ground, and he's out for a disappointing 4. So his start to his Durham career has been less than impressive. 5 innings now and just 34 runs.
That was an awful shot, actually. There was no foot movement, was there, really?
No.
The shot of a man just at the moment lacking in confidence. It's a shame because he just started. He started reasonably solidly, I thought, but that was standard delivery outside off stump. Went to pushed across him, didn't do too much, and he just sort of jabbed at it with not too much foot movement, as I say. And unfortunately for him, unfortunately Klein and Leicestershire just took the edge.
Harry Swindell's the keeper. How many balls did he face there? 21.
22, I
22.
guess. Yeah, that was his 22nd.
So Cameron Steele coming out, and his confidence is shot to bits. He hasn't been able to buy a run this season. He's made 21 in 4 innings.
Well, maybe this ground will give him confidence, because of course it was here where he made his spectacular double century, wasn't it? When Mr. and Mrs. Steele were here from.
Yes, they were, and that photograph is in my notepad. I've got a nice family picture of them.
In fact, it's on your notes, isn't it?
Yeah.
There we go.
Where is it? There it is. So Dad and Cameron and Mum, 224 runs he made, and Tom Latham 124 in the same game. First player to be born in America to got a double 100 in first class cricket. How he could do with some runs today. He got 1 and none in the last match.
Conditions are a little bit different. I seem to remember it was a fairly sunny old game, that one.
And it rained for the last 2 days, didn't it? It didn't get any
First
play.
2 days, yeah.
Coming into Steely, let's that go through to the keeper. Yeah, first 2 days, lovely weather, and then we knew on the, I think it was the Tuesday night, it was going to start raining, and it never stopped. I think I saw the sun back up and about Doncaster or something. This big band of rain came across the Midlands and just sat here for a few days. Klein in, that's left alone. But going back to Dixon though, 34 runs in 5 innings. This competition will be gone before you know it. Just the 5 group matches, no real time to play yourself into form if you start off with a bad run of scores. Bowler running away from us past the umpire, comes in and bowls, and Steele wants to go for a quick single. Lees needs to get a move on here. He was a little bit slow in starting off there, and these two have run each other out a couple of times in recent matches. I think in one at Middlesex last season, and then I think last week. And Lees has just gone back to have a word with Cameron Steele to say what was all that about. So Cameron Steele's apologised for calling him through for such a a quick run, but he's off the mark. Maybe a sign of nerves, perhaps. Surrey and Hampshire yet to start, apparently. As the bowler comes in here to Lees. Lees plays the ball off towards the cover area and have to get a move on. There's a throw at the stumps. Oh, and the ball's hit Lees. And it's going for the sort of overthrows that helped England win the World Cup last year against Northumberland, against New Zealand. But Lees stands there and doesn't run, and the ball is retrieved eventually. Our commentary position. To the keeper. And in the over, 16 for 1, BBC Radio Leicester, BBC Radio Newcastle. Martin Emerson and Richard Ray with you on this Saturday morning. I'm convinced it's Sunday today. Just has a Sunday feel about it, doesn't it?
A little bit. It does, yeah. It was quiet on the roads, of course, at the moment, for obvious reasons. It was going to be a big weekend. Well, it is a big weekend of sport in Leicester, but they hoped it was going to be a little bit bigger because they hoped Mark Selby was going to be in the final of the World Snooker Championship, the Leicester man, and he got beaten in the last frame, a last frame decider in the semi-final by Ronnie O'Sullivan last night. Both the semi-finals went to the last frame. If you're into your snooker, Gavin Griffiths is already coming on to replace Tom Taylor. So just the 4 overs for Taylor. A little bit, maybe that's a deliberate thing. They just don't want to put Taylor's back under too much stress. Gavin Griffiths hasn't got a name or number on his back, which is a little bit surprising. 93, I think, is Gavin's number. It's on his sweater. Down the slope he comes. Bowls to Lees. Nice bounce and a little bit of swing, but unfortunately a misdirected delivery. It was pitched around just outside leg stump and swung further away down the leg side, and Lees sort of stepped inside the leg and watched as it went through. It's a decent, as I say, to Harry Swindles, getting his chance in the absence, as I've mentioned, of Lewis Hill with that broken bone in his hand and acquitting himself against Lancashire at Worcestershire. 1 drop last week, but it's the only one so far. In goes Griffiths and bowls to Lees. A straighter delivery. Lees covers up middle and off, pushes it out into the offside. Picked up there by George Rhodes, who's come out of the slips now, just to give the bowler a little extra cover. Callum Parkinson, who's down there at long leg, single taken by, moves on. Dismissals has he been might be the outswing of the right armers that are the big issue for him then, as Griffiths comes down the slope and bowls to him, and again there's goodish lift, if slightly tennis bally, and it is left by Cameron Steele, this time absolutely wisely as it bounces through.
Too far south and all that.
Shame. It could be a good test match. Might yet be. Dance just to get his feet moving, and then in he comes and bowls edged and is caught at first slip by Hassan Azad. So just as Martin said, outside off stump, a little bit of bounce, a little bit of swing, and a routine edge flies straight in towards the midriff of Hassan Azad, and the catch is taken. So Griffiths punches the air in delight. He's got a wicket in his first over back in the side, and Durham, who'd started well, 14 without loss, all of a sudden 17 for 2.
Familiar look about it, and batting wise they've stayed with the same team again this week. 17 for 2. Griffiths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth ball, I think.
It was indeed. ... 1. Wicket. A little bit of movement, but he was delighted about that, Gavin Griffiths, and will be. It had been disappointed to miss out on the first 2 fixtures, or not be selected for either of the first 2 fixtures. It may be that it had come in. It has changed. He's worked he worked very hard last year with the then bowling coach Matt Mason. Matt back down in Perth now. Occasionally you'll see little videos and Instagram back home, but he usually follows what's going on at Fisher County Ground and how his young charges are getting on. Well, he'll be delighted if he is to have seen Gavin Griffiths pick up a wicket with his 5th ball of his opening over. A good start, shouts somebody out there. And indeed the 3rd slip comes in, as in comes David Beddingham to face Griffiths. Griffiths is in and bowls too wide though, and Beddingham can just take half a step forward and leave his bat raised. Watch the ball go through to Swindles behind the stumps. End of Griffiths is over. 1 for 1 for him. Durham 17 for 2 after 9 overs. David Beddingham is not a name I have to admit that I know really.
Well, you didn't watch much Plumtree cricket in Nottinghamshire, did you? In the last 6 seasons?
I have to admit I haven't. And that's whence he hails, is it?
Yes, he's from South Africa.
Okay.
He's had a couple of knocks this season. Skyline continues then from the pavilion end to Lees. That one's left alone and goes through to the keeper.
Look at that Cameron Steele dismissal again. Yeah. It was decent delivery, just started to shape. Just a little bit tentative. Almost had to play at it though, Steele.
Not getting across the ball, this is the problem though. Kine to bowl to Lees. Ooh, Lees looks to drive that through the covers, and he's got an inside edge down to fine leg. Not really sure how that happened. He doesn't seem to know how it's happened.
Could have cannoned the stumps. The Foxes have picked up a couple of early that was Dixon gone for 4, and in the last over Cameron Steele was caught at first slip by Hassan Azad off the bowling of Gavin Griffiths for 1. So Durham in a little bit of trouble, Leicestershire having won the toss and chosen to bowl. Durham, the visitors, are 18 for 2.
Lynn Smith has tweeted, "Here we go again." BBC Live Event says that sounds ominous.
What, the here we go again? Or
yes.
The creaks, or the...
Oh, the here we go again.
Robert Coe, just to let you know, the picture is about 10 seconds behind the sound.
Yeah, that's what I'm being told as well. Klein in and bowls. This is flicked off the hips by Beddingham for 4. Flies away down towards fine leg, up to the Bennett end of the ground. Yeah, David Beddingham, let's have a look at his stats then. 26 years old, played for South Africa under 19.
streets. I think,